the way the mechanics are supposed to work is the government has more of an ability to negotiate prices down for pharmaceuticals. Like, for instance, in our country, we have the VA, and we have Medicare. And they pay way less for their drugs than private citizens do. And that's because the government has the ability to negotiate prices down. Like, they don't pay the same prices that I would have to pay for this shit. They pay way less. The government pays way less than I do for the same drugs.
Right.
So that's kind of like what they're trying to do when they're trying to socialize it, so they can negotiate down those prices to make them affordable for everybody, at least. And when they become affordable, yeah, you're going to pay with them through your taxes, but it's supposed to be net cheaper doing it that way than to have to be foot with the bill yourself or to have it paid through private insurance.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it would be similar. It would be similar to how, like, universal health care or Medicare for all, or whatever you want to call it, depending on what country it's in, is economically cheaper in the long run than like, especially the way that healthcare is done in the States, for example.
Yeah, because because this is a good experiment here. We have a lot of government assistance, at least for older folks. They get free health care. Very, very poor folks get free health care, and so do people in the armed forces. Their health care is socialized. So we can run those concurrent experiments here. Like, all of the health, like, veterans typically don't complain about the VA.
Right.
They get pretty damn good health care, and they don't have to pay for it. And all the prices at the VA, they negotiate down. So the VA pays way less for probably like insulin than like somebody who is paying for private insurance has to pay for.
Right.
And that's because the government has a lot of power, and they could say, hey, we have a lot of fucking VAs here that need insulin, and we're not going to pay this outrageous fucking price for it. I'm just going to go buy our insulin from Canada. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So instead of doing that, they'll just lower the price, to something reasonable.
Well, that's part of why we already have cheaper prices for drugs here, even without this, because we don't have the healthcare system with the pharmaceutical companies negotiating with insurance companies, and insurance companies profiting off of the price of drugs, as happens in the US.
Right. Do you guys have to deal with like commercials for pharmaceuticals in Canada?
No, the US and Australia are the only countries in the world where commercials for drugs are legal.
Yeah, so that should tell you something about our system here.